Hello everyone, welcome back. We have another trade to discuss today, and this one's a massive one. Laine's officially been dealt. With all that coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to the video here at the Nintendo Hockey channel. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. Thank you for your support. We're nearly to the top of you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below, and hopefully you'll comment down in the comment section below so we can all discuss in this video. Now, I'm surprised we continue to have more and more trades happen over the last couple of days. We have more news coming out, and now it's the Columbus Blue Jackets making a trade. So Laine, who's been in the room for quite some time, has officially been dealt. The full trade is as follows. Patrik Laine at his full cap hit, so an $8.7 million cap hit, and the Columbus Blue Jackets 2026 second round pick have been moved to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for defenseman Jordan Harris. Now this is a fantastic move for the Montreal Canadiens. It's a decent move for the Blue Jackets. We'll get to both these sides first. So we'll touch on the Jackets side. It's really hard to have to give up a second round pick to move off the Laine contract, but they didn't have to retain any money, which I think is a big stepping stone for the Jackets, given the fact that they were able to free up an entire $8.7 million in cap space, not only for this year but for next year too. So as much as it is painful to give up a second round pick as well, to move off Laine, who needed a fresh start, and to get his full cap hit off the books is a fantastic piece of work by new GM Don Waddell. On top of that, they add Jordan Harris. Now Harris is a solid third pair, maybe eventually could be a second pair of defenseman, coming off a season this past year where he had 3 goals and 14 points in 56 games, to 32 career points in 131 career NHL games. We know the Jackets have been trying to rework that defensive core this year. They are mostly going to have David Jurczyk as a full-time NHLer next year. They have Provorov, Severson, Werenski. They moved off from guys like Adam Boqvist, from Jake Bean, let those guys go even though they were RFAs as free agents. Boqvist went and signed in Florida. Bean went and signed in Calgary. So they've been trying to rework that blue line a little bit. Didn't really add too much on the blue line this year, so this is going to be a really good addition. I expect Harris to potentially be a solid third pair defenseman with maybe a guy like Eric Branson. Harris still has this rest of this year on his contract at a $1.4 million cap hit, so it's not too bad, and then next year he'll be an RFA. So this is a decent move for the Jackets. I mean, like we said, it's horrible to have to give up a second round pick to just move off from Laine, but they don't have to retain any money. And Harris is a fantastic third pair defenseman who I think eventually could be a solid second pair defenseman for the Jackets. So in my opinion, that's a pretty good move there for the Jackets to get a solid defensive player in Harris for moving on from Laine. Now for the Canadiens, this is their big splash. We were waiting for them to make some sort of a big move. We've been hearing about all off season long, and they finally make it. So they add not only a 2026 second round pick, which is good. They're still a rebuilding team. By that time, they may be hunt for playoffs. They could use that pick as sort of like a trade chip, or they could use that to try and add some more prospects to their prospect pool. So that's a pretty good pickup there, but they also get Laine. Now they have one of the few teams that could have taken Laine's entire cap hit on, so that's pretty good to make use of their cap space. He's in year 3 or 4 of his contract at $8.7 million cap hit, so he's got this year plus next year at an $8.7 million cap hit. Coming off a season where he had 6 goals and 3 assists, 9 points in 18 games, didn't look really well. It was in the NHL Players Assistance Program for a long period of time, suffered an injury too. So all in all, it was a really bad season for Laine, but he has 30 to 40 goal potential. And if he's playing in a top 6 that has guys like Kirby Dach and Alex Newhook and Yaroslav Kovsky and Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki and so many really young and elite level playmakers, I could see Laine in Montreal. Maybe it doesn't happen this year, but maybe next year, return to 30 or 40 goal form for this Habs team. So in my opinion, this is a smart move for the Habs to not only take on Laine's contract as full cap hit, but to get a second round pick as well. And they move off from Jordan Harris, who a lot of people were expecting was going to get moved because they have too many defensemen. So they moved on from him. He could eventually still be a second pair defenseman, but with them having so many good young talent on the blue line, that made Harris expendable. So in my opinion, this trade works out for both sides. For the Habs, they're able to get a solid top 6 goal scoring forward in Patrik Laine, who I think could really help that young team, and I think in the right situation could be a 30 goal scorer again. And they get a second round pick in the 2026 draft, which helps their draft capital for the next couple of years. In exchange, the Jackets, for moving off from the entirety of the Laine contract and giving up a second round pick, get Jordan Harris, who should be able to help that team on a third pair for right now, and maybe eventually could be a second pair defenseman for them. So this is an interesting move for both sides. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on who you think won this deal down in the comment section below. Personally, I think the Canadiens did, because they're not only able to get Laine, who I think has really good upside, so long as he's able to stay healthy, but they get a second round pick in return as well for taking on the entirety of the cap hit. So that's, in my opinion, a really good win there for the Canadiens. Jackets, meanwhile, make out pretty well here. They're able to clear off the Laine contract, who need a fresh start, don't have to retain any money. Even though they do give up a second-round pick, they're able to get a solid defensive player in Jordan Harris. So in my opinion, this is a really good deal, but I do think the Canadiens won it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. What do you think of this trade? Did the Habs win it? Did the Blue Jackets win it? And are you surprised that Laine is now a member of the Montreal Canadiens? I'd love to hear your thoughts on all that down in the comment section below. So that's all for today. Remember to like this video. If you'd like to subscribe down below, think of your support. Regardless with you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below, and don't forget to comment down in the comment section below so you can discuss today's video. I also do a blog talking about news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that. So check that out. The link to that in the description below. And kind of see you guys all for next video. See you guys soon.